You lead the way. Now you.
At the age of 8, conflict and resolution should be this easy.
I surrender, I surrender,
It should be. In fact, so should the rest of life.
Lead the way.
But for Kieran Hathaway and Bear Vandermeer, childhood has often been more difficult.
Love.
The two Robius elementary students have faced realities most adults never will, and through it have found a sacred solidarity in each other's survival.
It's because we both go through the same thing almost at the same time.
The two boys share a rare form of pediatric cancer. So rare, only about 600 kids are diagnosed yearly with it nationwide. These two in the same Chesterfield community, schoolmates.
Neuroblastoma, you have 10 kids in a million.
Neuroblastoma has no known cause and no cure. It happens to most kids before the age of 5, and by the time it shows up, it's usually already at its highest stage, with a survival rate between 25 and 35%.
Being a stage 4 disease at the diagnosis does make it really hard to treat it.
Kieran's diagnosis was at 3 years old and Bear's at 4. Both had stage 4 neuroblastoma. Since then, they've gone through the same painful process of trying to beat it.
Every ounce, every little bit of energy you have goes into fighting for their life.
With loving parents, the boys travel back and forth to Sloan Kettering in New York for treatment. The early part is excruciating for a child.
I feel a lot of pain in my body.
It comes from high and low-dose chemotherapy and radiation, bone marrow and stem cell transplants, antibody and immunotherapies, and multiple surgeries to remove tumors.
You get a lot of pain on your head, back, and feet.
Not to mention the hours and hours of scans, the constant blood draws. Kieran's parents say the process of killing the cancer almost once killed their son. He spent 69 days in intensive care. It was during 3 major holidays and his birthday.
I can't even put in words the amount of fear that's in your heart. The waking up in the middle of the night terrified that your child is not going to live.
Here comes the bus.
For the boys' parents,
There's Bear!
Come on.
it's a parallel pain.
Thank you.
Surprise!
I don't want to bury my son. I'm not going to bury my son. He's going to bury me.
Anybody can do a somersault.
Perhaps not as physical and symptoms not as visible, but they struggle to hide their heartache. They have to for their sons.
Just, trying to keep our chin up, even maybe when we don't want to. He definitely inspires us.
Ow, that kind of hurt.
Kieran and Bear seem to stay above the ups and downs.
You got me. Now come here.
For now, the harsh part of the treatment is over,
We need to get in that door before they see us.
but the monitoring is constant as their disease is known to resurface. Because the disease is so rare, it gets a very small portion of cancer research funding. In fact, only 3% of monies raised for cancer nationwide goes towards children's cancer research.
So you're talking about our future. You're talking about kids that are going to grow up to do great and wonderful things because they've already been through the hardest time in their life.
And wouldn't the hardest time be a lot easier if next to you all the while was someone who knew exactly how you felt? It's a kinship Bear and Kieran have a sign for.
Hi, Karen.
They use it when they pass each other in the hallway at school.
We do peace signs. It's just our special grade, isn't it? We do.
It's a way for them to say, glad you're here, glad we're here.
I think they both have a real unbelievable appreciation for life, even though they're only 8 years old.